We got energy. Let's first look at oil, see what's going on. It seems like forever ago, I was talking about the great 66.77, which was our breakout from many years ago. Now, being above that number doesn't too much matter. The numbers that matter more is if we can get above this 69.81 and really above this 70 right here, because as of right now we're in a negative trend, right? You see it. This is from here, from basically the 720 to 76 when we had that all-time high, or not all-time high, but many year all-time high. And since then we went down, we bounced back, and then we flushed all the way down to the 127 extension back to 61, 62. And since then we have had a bear, or a roaring bull back about 7-8 points. Now the telltale sign is if we flipped the script on the negative trend is above 71, as you see that'll be the 50, and it has to hold the 71. So this should be very interesting about what happens within the next week. Now, over the weekend, a little news when we'll see if this has any, if it matters at all. The hurricanes are coming through, and what was it? In the Gulf of Mexico, they shut down 50%, or I think it was 46%, whatever, of the platforms. So we'll see how that, and I think 1 million barrels of oil was taken offline, just for safety of the hurricane. So it's not like it's going to be offline for very long, just for a fewer days. But we'll see if that gives us a little pop, or what happens with that this upcoming week. Other than that, let's go through these stocks and see where we're going. Chevron. Chevron, yeah. I mean, we're above the 786, so that's a positive, right? If we can, well, kind of. We really need to get up to 103. If we get up and really actually above 100, then it's starting to get my attention. But as of right now, no, I'm not really excited about this. Above a 100, then that gives us a good frame of reference. Above the 103, then that basically kind of shifts us back to, then I'm more confident that we will hit the 113 and go higher. But until we get that 100 mark under our belt, it's really difficult for me to want to be interested. Valero, kind of the same thing with Chevron. Until we get above this 69, 62, I'm not really a cheerleader, I guess you could say. Now, don't get me wrong. We have gone massive. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So last Friday, we were here at basically 60. So we've gained 7 points. It's massive moves. Massive moves. Just keep that in mind. But, I mean, if you got in last week, then you were great. Getting in here, you have well-defined risk. So if you are like anxious, then yes. But if you're patient, then be patiently waiting for it to get above this 50. I mean, you still get plenty of movement. So don't, like, if we miss this, it's fine. Right? It's just the solid bet would be above the 50. Chevron or Exxon Mobil. Again, the same as last week. It pounced and it was beautiful. And if you got in perfect last Monday, congratulations. However, I would like to see this jiggle around this area, the 58, and kind of break out all of this kind of junk before I really want to get into it. Now it's 4 points away, so it's a decent amount, and we're only given us 6 points of upward trajectory before we know we're going to have like the all-time high. But like right here, I mean, anything above the 54, 53, then you're fine, right? But I wouldn't really bet the house until we clear some of these other numbers and get above this 50% to the downside. MMP, MMP's looking good. MMP's looking great. We're above this 50%, which was right here. So we've cleared that. We've cleared, yep, we cleared this little jumble right here. Oh, I like how this is too, because the day before Thursday, we had cleared majority of it, right? We basically double topped right here, got rejected, and then the very next day was bought right back up above. So I like that. Now, don't get me wrong, we could drop $1 down to this 48.20 before we head back up. But if anything, I like this position. I like Valera or MMP is so far my favorite when it comes to the energy. TTE. Oh, look at this. We're finally starting to do a little something. And remember, we don't have very much data. We only have data from January or from June. So keep that in mind. But if we can break this 45.14, then I'm a buyer. Royal Dutch Shell. I don't see anything wrong. It did exactly what was expected of it. It jumped above this 50 and it's maintained it. Yeah, I would say there's nothing wrong with it. Just maintain as long as it stays above this 38.85. Sunoco's had some problems, kind of frustrating, but it's okay. We were at all-time highs not too long ago, so we're only like $2 away, and it really has to break this 50. I have to break this 50 to the positive and hold above the 37.54 for me to really want to get interested in this. But then you can see we've had 1, 2, 3, 4, basically all of last week we're knocking at the window. So yeah, just wait to let's see what happens this upcoming week. As long as we're above 37.52, I am a buyer. British Petroleum, not quite there, but as you see, we are. I mean, this is kind of like with all the other ones as well. We're starting to do a little damage to the bears. We're about $1.80, about 90 cents, 80 cents away from the 50% mark. If we can get above that 50%, then I would be a much more confident buyer. E is basically the same thing. If we can get above this 50, then I'm more confident as a buyer. But as long as we're below the 50, I'm not really that interested. Now KMI has from the high to the low, man. What a nasty drop, right? $3, but it's very small, so it's actually a pretty large nasty drop. Let's check it out. Yeah, basically a 17% drop. We are above the 50, so as long as we maintain that 50 and stay above it, I would be a buyer. All right, have a great one.